Hello and welcome to Smartkarma's corporate webinar. I'm Sanam Nalwani from Smartkarma. This week we are hosting NFC Indonesia. We are glad to have with us Group Head of Corporate Finance and Strategy, Stanley Tijandra. We will start the webinar with Stanley walking us through a company presentation, after which we will engage in a fireside chat with Smartkarma Insight Provider, Angus Mackintosh. We are taking live Q&A. So I would like to request our attendees to post your questions in the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. During the webinar, we will also share some links on how you can connect with NFC Indonesia and read more research by Angus. So please do keep a lookout for messages in the chat box. I now hand it over to Stanley to walk us through a short company presentation. Stanley, please.
Okay. Sonia, can you show the presentations? Okay, can we start slide number 1? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do some brief on the history of the company, right? So actually the company was originally running a distribution business for telco product, mostly for the B2B clients back then when we established the company in 2013. But since 2017, we transformed the company, into a modern digital company, with more comprehensive offering services using the technology actually as its enabler. And in mid-2018, we listed the company to speed up the transformations. And I think this is a very important thing that we need to do because we are very aware that someday, the telco operator will go direct to the customers and we will become extinct. So we need to offer something to the market, something that can create stickiness to both our principals and also our customers. So first, something that we call natural use case. Usually, when it is something that we offer without having to bribe them, so we don't have to rely on a cash burning strategy. So this is a very important business strategy that we have. So we don't like to rely on a cash burning strategy. Well, you mean like a natural use case, like toll road. Toll road is a very simple natural use case. You don't say you don't go to toll road because like Indonesia, Jasa Marga doesn't give you a discount. You use toll road because you need it, right? And number 2 is, we have to offer something very unique. Can you please go back to slide number 1? This is what we call the natural use case. So something that people use on a data, something that is very unique and can disrupt the market. So we want to have like the first mover advantage. So with this, I think this allow us actually not to rely on a price war strategy, right? So the aim is actually, and the business is not only just revenue, but it's actually the profit, because that actually give the values to your shareholders, right? So after we successfully gaining money from the IPO, we got around $21 million at a time in 2018. Then we developed many kind of business, starting from our digital product aggregator platform. Then we slowly adding it with the marketing platform using our digital cloud advertising, and then we add another with the content and entertainment features, then the supply chain muscles, and I think the last one is we add the ESG component within our business with the clean energy business, which includes our motorcycles, Volta, and also our battery swap station infrastructures, which already quite massive here in Indonesia. So if you see, the basic algorithm to our business, so we want to add the value across all the components in the value chain of our business. So either the principals or the merchant partners or the customers who connect to our system or platform, they don't have to go anywhere else. So it's all complete actually. So they just sit nice. We take care of all of them. We help them actually to bring even new ideas to them, which later on I will explain to you, let's say in the case of Alfamart. So next, this is actually the big pictures of our business infrastructures. Next. So to easier understand actually how the business works actually. So if you look at from the warung standpoint, they use our O2O platform to buy any kind of digital products. They want to top up their phone credits, they want to top up their electricity, they want to pay their bills and everything. It is supplied by us actually, those warung. So basically the model is a B2B2C. And later on, because Si Cepat, who is actually one of the largest logistic company, already become one of the shareholders in the company. So now we also have the capability actually to also deliver physical good as well. So these pop and mom shops, if let's say they're running out of inventory, they just click the buttons within our apps. They can just replenish their inventory. So we just send to them. For this, we don't hold any inventory risk because all the warehouse, all the trucks and everything is actually from the principals and also from the logistic company. So we will get some commission fee out of every sales that being done through our applications. So it's a very it's a very safe business, very risk. No working capital, no big working capital. It's a JIT, just-in-time inventory. And then inside the store, we also have the screen. They can display, many kind of products. So many principals can advertise their product inside the stores. This one also, the business model is very lucrative. This is like giving us the recurring income. So they basically just do like the subscription model, being rental with us. Then and the margin is very thick, also like 50 to 80%, right? So but then we also look, most of our clients, especially those in the pop and mom shops, they use motorcycles for their operationals. So we think having our Volta, by doing the green transportations, number one, it's good for the environment, and of course it's good also for their pocket, because based to our their conversation to them, they can actually cut their costs around 40 to 50% because of using our electric motorcycles. So that's basically the whole value chain, and we will keep on adding more values if we can, to make our commercial partners wealthier. Next. Okay, so we already have presence, I think, across Indonesia. I think we have like in 28 provinces. Next. So this is basically the revenue profile. If you can see the revenue growth already very good. Since IPO, revenue has been growing by CAGR of 50%. Starting if you look at from the 2017, sales only 91 million 2017, and in 2022 already 678 million, and so does also the EBITDA. The CAGR even larger, 116%. 2070 is only like $227,000 US. Now currently already reaching $4.9 million US. And in first Q, the result is also quite impressive. Next. Okay, and this is just to show our evolutions, because when we do the IPO, Angus, actually people always say, no, you're not a real digital company. You only sell telco top-up product, right? And so you only do a makeup, right? So at that time, you say, wait, please give us time, right? We will prove it to you. So that's why this slide is very important, right? So if you look at the composition of our gross profit, we don't measure it from the revenue, because sometimes some business have a large amount, large value, but small margins. But some business have small value of revenue, but very thick margins. So we have to do some combination in it. So we always measure on the profitability side. So if you look at on the GP side, the contribution of the digital product related 78%, but now mostly already dominated by non-digital product. So which means, hey, we already walk the talk, right? Okay, so we will continue to do slow this slow transition because we just want to make sure that everything that we campaign really works on the ground, right? So next. And just to give you some recap, this is the digital product aggregator. Basically, it's like an O2O platform. So actually this platform is being used by the store owners, or in case of the modern store, is actually used by the cashier. So people walk in, they buy through the store owners or the cashier to buy products, and those store owners actually buy from us. How we get money? We get the spread, actually, the margins. Okay, so that's basically the revenue model. So if you look at the platform members continue to grow, right? From 2018, it's only like 26,000. Currently, I think already reached to in first Q, I think already reached to close to 240,000. And I think in 2021 we managed to win an award from Indonesia Guinness Book of Record as the most transacting stores for the SMEs using the digital platform, and we are very proud of it. Which means, when we say we have like 240,000, which means these stores are really an active stores who do transaction with us on a day-to-day basis, right? So we don't need to bribe them, giving banners just to put, hey, you can claim like this already, or this already being part of it. No, so we just really want to make sure that when they connect to us, they really engage with us, right? So the GP contributions in first Q, if you look at, currently is around 41%, and the business alone actually continue to grow very good. And not just that, we also distribute the digital product not just to SMEs but also to modern retails like in Alfamart, and also to some e-commerce players. Even if you look at our financial notes in our financial reports, actually like Tokopedia, Shopee, Bukalapak become our major customers, right? They are taking inventory from us, meaning that we have a very competitive supply, right? So this is the thing. And next, Anya. This is for the in-store advertising business. So basically, if you come to Alfamart, like below on the right, if you see the screen on the back of the cashier or in the middle of the stores, is actually powered by us, right? So they're doing subscription to us on a monthly basis. So it's between 250,000 to 500,000 rupiah. It depends on the size of the screen, and also the program that they take from us, either with the screen or without the screen. So it depends, right? So we have a very stable revenue streams, right? And the customers, if you see, keep on growing very robustly, right? From only if you see the advertising points from only 4,000 currently in the first Q already reached to 13,000, and also in terms of number of screens also continue to grow very robustly, right? Even in the first Q we managed to grow the number of screen by 26% year on year. And I think this business also will become the next growth driver for us, because if you look at on the advertising points, we only cover currently around 13,000, but if you look at our two major customers, let's say Indomart and Alfamart, they already have like 40,000 stores. So which means we only like cover less than 50%, and they continue to grow their stores by at least 1,000 store every year. So Alfamart, Indomart combined every year 2,000, and usually per store they install 2 screens, right? But for for the bigger format of stores, let's say for the Alpha Midi or like in Indomart Fresh, they usually install like 5 screens per store. So if you even though we already become the market leader in this space, but the upside potential for growth is still huge, because the coverage I think is still less than 50%. And not just that, we also have yet touched seriously on the traditional market, which we already started last year. So if you can imagine, if we put installed, let's say in the SRC stores, which already with us like 150,000, I think the potential is become super huge going forward. Next. And already this one also the second largest, I think the largest contributor at this point of time, I think covering around 46% to our gross profit. Why? Because the margin is very thick, like around 50 to 80%. Okay, next. Okay, digital wholesale, like I already mentioned to you. Sorry. I already mentioned to you. So this is actually like to upgrade our services, right, to those pop and mom shops. So they don't have, to buy to, far away from any suppliers. Now they can just book their inventory from us for the physical products, let's say shampoo, beverages, cooking oil, right? Any products that we have a very good competitive supply, we can offer them. At this point in time, we only started a very limited SKUs, only beverages and also cooking oil. But we don't, because we're still learning from this business. But if we can actually crack the business, I think this will entail a huge potential business for us, right? If you can see, when we start the business, we only sell like 100,000 US dollar. In 2022, we managed to sell around 30 million, and we don't hold any inventory risk. The margin of may not be very thick, but then again, it's an additional services for us. So just to make sure that when they use our platform, it is very complete, right? They don't have to go anywhere, right? So if you see in the pojok buyer, actually this is also the digital product aggregator apps. We provide additional buttons to them, so they can, if they click, they can buy any inventories that are being provided by us. So it's very simple. And for the logistic, it's being catered by one of our shareholders, which is Cepat. But for the warehouses, also provided by Cepat during the delivery, right? And also the principals. Next. This is for the content and entertainment. Content and entertainment is very important because we learn from the Amazon and also from Alibaba. So like in Amazon, to make sure that people continue to become your member, to pay your subscription monthly, they offer entertainment, right? And because this entertainment, giving you more stickiness, and it becomes also your Trojan horse to do many kind of business with any kind of your partners, right? So like here, they use the characters with Telkomsel, right? So now the Telkomsel can have a very strong engagement with their customers, right? Because they use our platform. Also, this can also connect to our WhatsApp as well. And also with BNI, they use also the characters, and also for Bank Mandiri. And like, what do you mean by Trojan horse? Let's say, because now we have more engagement with Telkomsel. Now we can get more, secured supply from Telkomsel with a very good price. Because when you conduct business with Telkomsel, you are being treated special if you can give something special to them as well. Sometimes giving you business ideas to them, then you will become their golden boy, right? Not just regular customers buying Telkomsel, buy and that's it, right? So we can do a lot of things like after that they can also collaborate with our motorcycle Volta. Later on, Anya will explain to you. So these kind of things may not seems to create direct revenue, but the multiplier effect is very important to us, right? Like let's say with Bank Mandiri, also with BNI, we also target actually for their clients, because they have hundreds of thousands or even millions of SMEs that one day we can connect to them and selling or offering our digital product platform as well later on. So by having these digital contents, we can have something that is very different from everyone else, right? So that's basically the unique strategy. Like I already explained to you, Angus, this makes us can avoid the price war strategy, right? So by investing in this kind of things, right, rather than you bribe customers, if you give them discount today, they buy you today. If you don't give them discount, they don't use your platform. We don't want to do that, right? So we better invest in something, but it will become your assets, right? Then you can leverage those assets to do many kind of commercial cooperations, collaboration with everyone else, right? So that's basically the grand strategy in the group. Next. Okay, so going to the hottest topic, which is the clean energy, right? So next, Anya. Okay, this year we already proposed a certification to our Volta motorcycles for the carbon emission trading. The reason why we don't look actually for the money coming from the trading, of course, it's a good money, but then again, this will give more convictions actually for the corporate clients and B2B to buy from us, right? So when they want to claim, hey, when you buy Volta, actually you already participate in some carbon emission. No, they can claim. If you don't have this, you cannot claim how many carbon credits that you have, because it is being certified. So this is very important when we're doing marketing strategy for the corporate clients, because the main focus currently we do group and also B2B, right? We don't go for the B2C because the marketing cost is too high when you go door to door. Going to the exhibition, you spend like 500 million, 600 million, you only sell what, 5 units, 10 units for what? But when you go to the corporate clients, they buy you 100, they buy you 1,000, they buy you 10,000. It is more effective in this way, right? So hopefully we can get it by the 4Q of this year. So and this keep on going if you visit to our website. Next. I think okay, so okay, from the macro perspective, of course, the government has a very ambitious target, having like 2 million of an electric motorcycle by 2025. Then again, to make this happen, they give a fiscal subsidy. So they allocate around 1 million units of motorcycles up to 2024, but in 2023 they allocate around 250,000. And the subsidy is around 450 to 460 US dollar. In rupiah terms, it's about 7 million rupiah, right? So but not everyone can earn this incentive program, because they have to meet like the local contents of at least 40%. And we are very proud that Volta is being shortlisted to be part in this program. And I think this will become like the major catalyst for the business in 2013, and we are very bullish in it. Yeah, up to now, I think we already received around 6,000 applicants for this subsidized program of the EV. Even though it's only 1 month, because the program just launched by end of March, right? So hopefully this can run very fast up to end of year. Next slide. Okay, of course, if you look at from the market perspective as well, the what is actually the market potentials. So based on our study, actually assuming 115 million motorcycle, just assuming we only get like 20% of market share, that alone we see already translate to like a 50 billion revenue opportunity for us. But if you look at the other actually peripherals, actually the supporting sectors within the EV, I think you can get additional like 36 billion business. So it's a very, very lucrative business, right? Especially for developing countries like Indonesia. Next. Okay, so this actually many kind of space that you can fill in, not just on EV, right? So still a very huge business, a lot of innovation that you can do. Okay, and it's a never-ending space, I think, in my opinion, right? Next, so you can add value in many kind of angles. So these are line of products. So basically, the grand strategy is we want number one to continue to add more products, and for the basic strategy for the clean energy business. I think number one is product. We designed the product specifically for Indonesian flavor, right? If you look at later on, and the product actually is designed for initially for the commercial use. Actually, the history of us, starting the business is actually from the push from our shareholders, which is Cepat, because they have like 13 to 15,000 of motorcycle for their operational fleets, and they want to change into electric motorcycles. So we test this with Cepat in terms of durability and everything. So that's why this already become, I think, one of the top customer choice in Indonesia. And in 2022 sales alone, I think we can claim that we already become the market leader in this EV motorcycle space. Currently, the market share is around 29%. Even though we only started the commercial operation in November 2021. The reason why, of course, number one, because we are supported by our fast ecosystem within the group. And that makes the penetration to the market very fast, and your know-how of understanding Indonesian customers' behavior is also very important, right? Next slide. Okay. And also one of the things why Indonesian love Volta, because we also give them also a very wide range of not just product but also prices as well. So we can have we have products less than 10 million rupiah, which is what we call the Volta Lite. That one only use a battery of lead acid SLA. We have the product of around 13 million rupiah using one battery, or you can have 13 million rupiah motorcycle but without battery, then the battery you just rent to us, or you can have the complete one, right? The normal one, which is what we call the Volta regular. You can buy around 17 million rupiah, that one with battery. So the Indonesian customers has a lot of choice when they want to buy Volta. That's why we are quite successful in this market. And for the plant capacity, currently we have 4,000 units per month, and hopefully by the end of this year we can ramp up the capacity up to 5,000 units per month. The location is in Central Java, Semarang. Next. I think back. Okay, if you look at here, this motorcycle being used by Cepat Courier, so they actually can upload every day. They travel around 150 kilometers, and they carry around 150 to 100 kilograms every day. So we are quite proud of this. And next. This is actually a snapshot by Media Indonesia, and when we pay attention they use Volta, and we are very proud of it. We just want to say, you know, a lot of people they are very afraid of using electric motorcycle, and this motorcycle is actually very good in terms of quality. Okay, next. Okay, we have currently around 285 for the battery swap station. This also one of the reason why people want to buy Volta, because I think we offer, I think, the largest ecosystem for the battery swap stations, because it's not, unlike the, you know, the conventional motorcycle using the you know, the ICE motorcycle, when you're running out of gasoline, then you can just, you know, easily find gas stations around the town. But when you're running out of battery, you have to charge them. At home, you have to charge like 3 to 4 hours, right? You cannot do it, right? So a battery swap station like what the Gogoro do is very important. So you know, giving our Volta users comfort of mind when they use. So they just swap the battery, you know, paying like 10,000 rupiah per swap, and that's it. They can just up and run. And currently the number of transactions are already around 10,000 transactions per day, and it's still growing by the day. Okay, next. Okay, and the network, currently 7, what we call the 3S, mean sales, service, and spare part, right? So we are very careful in choosing the dealers. We just want to make sure they can maintain their service quality, right? Let's say, for one example, they have to sign a pack that they have to send their engineers to be trained by us once every year. So if they cannot do it, we cannot make them as our dealer. So mostly still in Java, especially in Greater Jakarta, but you know, the demand of becoming our dealers coming from out of town continue to increase. But you know, we need to carefully choose, because we just want to make sure, because they become our brand ambassador, right? If they screw up, we screw up, basically. So next. Okay, and also one of the things that also very unique, we also provide the rental model. So this actually very suitable. Number one, actually, for the first time users, they want to try first, they can do it. And of course, also for the heavy users, for the regular consumers, just bear in mind, Indonesian economy is coming from mostly from for the informal sectors, where they live on a day-to-day basis, right? So they can rent the motorcycle on a daily basis, even for like the ride hailing company, like, you know, like Gojek or like Grab drivers. Mostly they use they become our customer for the smallest. They rent the motorcycles, and we are quite happy with their feedbacks, because now after the fuel price hike, they cannot they say they cannot longer save any money. Now after they use Volta, now they can save, you know, like 30 to 40% more money, and we are very happy in that. And if you look at we just started in August 2022. Currently we have around more than 3,500 unique users, and revenue, the gross revenue per day keep on growing. Currently, I think already close like 10,000 US dollar per day from this rental business. Okay.
So we've got a few questions starting to come
sure.
in.
Sure.
Do you want to wrap up the presentation side of it, and we can get into some of the questions?
Okay. So I think that's the last slide of I have for now. So just to wrap up the presentations, like I mentioned to you, so we are very focused as a digital enabler to add values to our customers, and we keep on adding more values, more ecosystem, or more solution to our clients, just to make sure they become sticky with us without having to rely on a cash burning strategy, right? So I think that's all to wrap up my presentation. Feel free to ask anything.
No, well, that's very interesting, Stanley. And I think, you know, I think understanding where the companies come from is very important. And the fact is, you're not focusing on gaining customers through cash burn. You're actually trying to build and grow relationships with SMEs, you know, over a period of time. And you know, obviously you started off doing that with your digital products. You know, that could you just explain a little bit? So where did the digital product business, let's start with that, because that's what 40% of gross profit, you said, at this stage. I mean, you started off selling telecom products, telecom cell vouchers, is that right?
Okay. Any kind of actually we sell all kind of telco operators product, not just Telkomsel, for Indosat, for XL as well, for 3 as well. But we do, of course, the largest sales, of course, coming from Telkomsel, because, you know, Telkomsel has, you know, the largest market share here in Indonesia. But for not just for the SME, but we also sell the product to the modern store, which is Alfamart, the Telkomsel. And you know, this is a very interesting part. You know, this is a very good showcase how we win the market without having to go for the price war strategy. So so before we go selling the Telkomsel product in the Alfamart, we are actually become already their partners for the digital cloud advertising, right? So when we go to the Alfamart, we say, hey, would you like to buy the telco product? Oh, we already have the supplier, but hey, if you buy from us, price is the same, but we give you data and analytics dashboard, right? So when you use our service, so that's where the technology becomes the enabler, right? You can check your most top sales, your we create them the heat map. We can tell actually which store is your best performing store, which store is your worst performing store on a real-time basis. Previously, they can have the data, but after they already close the data, which happens to be like 3 to 4 months later on, where if they have problems, they can know that problem 3 months later, which is already obsolete, right? Already expired. The problem has already become another problem. They cannot do any kinds of, and they love it very much, right? So that's why we can replace as telco suppliers in Alfamart, because we give them solutions using technology. And then after that, we come to them as well. Hey, we can also provide you doing the loyalty platform program using the WhatsApp, using the characters like Sri Asi, you know, Gundala and everything. We can give you as the seekers. You know, these kind of things, how we win the market.
Right. And how does that, the customer base sort of break up between your SMEs, traditional trade, and modern retail? And I also understand, obviously, you're also catering to sort of major e-commerce companies, you know, selling them digital products or virtual products.
Okay. So I think 80% of our customers, 80 to it's around 80% is coming from the SME market, and the remaining is coming from the modern retail and the general trade. So that's the basic the breakdown.
Right. And which areas do you see as the sort of the highest growth areas over time? Is it still is general trade or traditional trade going to be, you know, the still major growth area? Because it's obviously it's a huge market in Indonesia.
Yes. So what we see is actually the SME market, because if you look at the numbers here, like 100,000, if you compare here in this, like total SMEs, we're talking about around 50 million SMEs, right? And the next positive catalyst, aside the Sampurna retail community, we also is working on with the BRI through their BRI link. We will provide them with a POS system. Up to first Q, we already send them around close to 13,000 devices to them, and of what we learned, and in the BRI link, they have around 500,000 SMEs under them, under this initiative, and we target hopefully we can transfer around every year around 100,000. So this will give a huge boost to our growth profile for the SMEs, right?
Yeah. So it might be worth just taking one step back, because you talked there about Sampurna Retail, which obviously has a huge customer base through selling cigarettes, but then you're extending that to cover BRI as well, and providing hardware for BRI for their customers, or for their BRI link agents.
Yes. So for the Sampurna retail community, we don't use POS. So because usually the Sampurna retail community have smaller format, so they actually use their mobile phone. Right. So the apps that they use is what we call Pojok Bayar, right? Pojok Bayar. But because BRI, I think they want to have a more comprehensive big data, so that's why they want POS. Right. So right. I think for VR, it is also very important, because they also want to know the big data for their credit risk management, right? So they can know what is the sales pattern on a daily basis and everything, what kind of SKUs possibly if they input the data inside the POS, something like that.
Right. And I mean, moving on to the digital advertising business, because that's obviously linked into what you're providing, into digital products. I mean, there's a close relationship between the two, so you can give your underlying customers both products. Could you explain a little bit about how that business has developed?
Okay, so initially, because most of the founders are coming from the retail, so they see there is some problems actually from Walmart, because their previous principals actually they use a very old technology. So when they want to change the content, they have to use the USB. So you can imagine if we have like 1,000 stores, you want to change your content, you have to send 1,000 people to 1,000 stores to just change the content. It's very troublesome. And not to mention if they have like multi-OS operating system. So we come to them, we offer them using the cloud technology. And after that, they are very happy. Why? Because with this cloud technology, you can change the content instantly. Just send the content to us and we just click instantly, and you can do a very flexible customization. Let's say you can have different promotion in North Jakarta compared to the South Jakarta. You can have different promotion morning to noon. Let's say in KFC, you can have different program, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or in different areas. You can do it many kind of ways using our technology. You can also now doing the customer counting. Later on, we also develop using the AI. We can tell actually their expressions, right? So in Alfamart, actually during the COVID, they also use our system when they want to sell cosmetics, because you cannot use cosmetics, but they want, let's say they want to buy lipstick, they want to know is this color suitable for my face? They just click, and the color in their lips will change, right? Things like these kind of innovations continue to grow, and we can also do many kind of things inside.
Right. And do you provide the stores with the hardware, i.e. the screens? So but do they basically then they rent those screens, and then they pay a recurrent revenue for the content every month, which can change obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a high margin business, with I mean, I don't know how heavy the capex is to expand the business, and how much more expansion you see to come from the advertising business.
Yes. Okay, so the break-even point is only less than 2 years, right? So but the warranty from the principals, like in LG, is 3 years. So if something broken with the device, we actually don't have to pay anything. We just claim the hardware to the principals, because the warranty 3 years. Right. So before the warranty ended, we already break even. So that's why the margin is very big. Of course, we also get special trading terms from the like Samsung or LG as our principals. right? And you know, the gross margin is very thick. It's about 50 to 80%. So,
Right.
but then again, the business not just stops there, right? Not just for only for renting the rental, but then again, it's about the total solution. You know, having them, you know, doing the content management and, you know, other stuff can, you know, can also build as one total package, not just, you know, selling the rental itself.
Right. Got you. And that, I guess, leads on to the next question. So you got those two pockets, which is you talked a little bit about the physical goods that you're now providing to your customers as well, and that's in collaboration with Cepat.
Okay, so Cepat will become the logistic backer, right?
Yeah.
So they the one who actually delivered the product to us, right? Let's say like cooking oil, or let's say when we call say last year we also sell one beverage, if you're familiar, like Yoyik, if you are familiar, something like Yakult.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So they basically the one who provide the logistics for Cepat.
Right.
Of course, we also open for other logistic provider as well.
Right. But that's a sort of an additional channel on top of the digital products and digital advertising which you're providing, and that's mainly for the traditional trade.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And just very briefly we're just conscious of time. I wanted to speak a little bit more about the EV business, but just briefly on the content business, because, you know, that's also an additional sort of add-on to your ecosystem. I mean, how important is that content business to growing future business?
Okay, so like I already mentioned to you, so the content business will become like the additional sticky factors that actually can give you the multiplier effect to the other businesses. Of course, if you see the direct revenue generated from the business is not very big, but actually the multiplier effect. Let's say when we do, let's say doing when you know, like Telkomsel using the characters for their physical telco product, their starter pack and everything, they give us the licensing fee, but after they use, we can ask them for special allocation that we can sell to our SMEs, which belongs to the digital product aggregator segment, right? Right. When we go to the Alfamart, we can do some bundling. They can use the characters. Let's say in Indomart, they sell special donuts using the Sri Asih characters, like the Indonesian Wonder Woman. Then they are very happy with us. Then they will continue to use our digital cloud advertising solutions. Right. So this kind of things that is very important, not just looking at, you know, the direct revenue impact generated from the business, but the multiplier effect to the other businesses is also very important. Right.
Very good. Well, I've got quite a few questions have come in here on the EV business. So maybe we just start with, you know, I mean, obviously you're one of the, you're an early, probably the first starter in that business in some ways, in terms of development of both your motorcycle products as well as having the battery swapping stations, because that's quite key. Could you just give us a little bit of a sort of intro on where you see that, where the business is now, and where you see it going in the next, say, 3 years? Because it's obviously also quite competitive, and there are a number of different competing technologies, battery types, you know, things like the price of the vehicle is very important. It seems like you got that right. The range of the vehicle is very important, and the trust in the fact you can get a battery. These are all important factors. So why not just give a little bit of background on that, and then I'll get into the direct questions.
Okay. So like I mentioned to you, you know, the history when we start the business actually recaps from the Cepat, right? As one of the shareholders, they want to cut their, you know, operational cost, right? So EV is one of the solutions, but because we see we have a very large network, so they entrusted this business to our group. So this motorcycle is designed for a commercial and heavy duty use. Unlike I don't know, other competitors, they use for the, you know, consumer use. So in terms of durability, is already being tested we do a very crazy stress test because it has to be, survive.
Yeah.
Indonesia, right? When they bring motorcycles.
Yeah.
So we already test all this. Even if you look at the design of a motorcycle, if you look at the front foot steps, is very wide. It is designed to carry goods. So that's why Indonesian people love to use our motorcycle very much, because it is so Indonesia, right? It is so Indonesia. Why we can have this? Because we have, decades of experience, doing relationship with the SMEs. We know really exactly how the grassroots people behave. So I think that's also one of the key factors why we can penetrate the market very fast. Of course, we are also supported by our huge SME connections. And then the second most part, I think the product offering, like I mentioned to you, we have a very complete price arrays, right? Very cheap one. We just launched less than 10 million rupiah, 9.9 million you can buy, or even to the complete one up to 17 million they can have, right? And one of the most important thing as well, the battery, right? The battery, I think of what I know, the other competitors, they can only carry one. Us, they can carry two. Even if they buy our Volta Lite, actually they can carry three: one SLA and two LFP4, two LFP batteries. So three. So these kind of features, give people comfort of mind while they use Volta. Price very affordable, right? Quality you can check, already being tested, right? And last one, the battery substation network. That is also very important. I think we provide, I think, the largest SGB network here in Indonesia, right?
Right.
And currently we also already have presence in Alfamart as well. So you see, right, the connection starting from digital advertising, supplying the products. Even actually Alfamart come to us. They want to have SGB in their premises. Why? Because when they look at the other premises, when they put our SGB, it becomes like the crowd puller. So they need the SGB to become the crowd puller as well. In fact, they chase us. So that's basically the thing.
And there's obviously, you said, there's lots of room for you to further penetrate with the mini market players, Alfamart and Indomaret.
Right.
Let's just try and go into some of the questions, as we're running a bit short on time. The first one I'll leave till last, which is a longer term question. But who else regionally is looking to invest in the Indonesia EV ecosystem, and will they be open to? Will you be open to work with them? Should we expect any major partnerships going forward?
Yes. Actually, currently we are in the middle of doing financing round for our EV. So a lot of strategic investors, not just financial investors, would like to come into this attractive EV space in Indonesia. Currently, actually, we already secured some mini package of our financing round, but hopefully we can close by the third quarter or the fourth quarter of this year. Yes.
Right. Very good. Well, that's good. Yes, I mean, this is a more general question, big picture. What's the purchasing pattern of consumers in Indonesia for motorbikes? Do households own more than a vehicle per person? I mean, there's sometimes multiple motorbikes per household, but I mean, per person, probably not that many people have more than one.
Yeah. I think you can take like average one motorcycle per person, or can be for the normal can be up to two, right? The father, let's say the son, let's say the son, when they already become like college student, they can also use. So like one or two, max two, I think.
Exactly. I mean, it's more of a replacement market, I guess. And here we are, another one. What's the acceptance of electric vehicles like in Indonesia? And are people willing to make the switch? I mean, I would probably say not quite yet for consumers, but for enterprises, there's obviously a huge potential ESG positive for them to do that. And we've had lots of comments from Grab and from Gojek, for example, about transforming their fleets. So there's a huge market in the enterprise market, but consumer market maybe a bit early.
Consumer market, that's why we started this business with the rental model, so they can try first.
Yeah.
Right. So like for the first adopters, this is very important, right? But if you talk to the, all the online riders, and most of them, I think, can become the public opinion leader because, they use every day. And if you talk to them now, they are very happy using it because, it saved them a lot of money. So we hope this, from mouth to mouth, from all the Gojek riders, when they use, actually, there's nothing wrong with use for the electric vehicle. Like I mentioned to you, people get scared, with water, flood, everything. I just show you the pictures. This motorcycles is even very safe when they go into the flood and everything. So this gives us time. And then again, that's why the government give the fiscal incentive, just to give a boost for people to use the motorcycle. So let's say if you buy our product, what we call the Volta Lite, which is less than 10 million, if minus 7 million, which means they only pay like less than 3 million. I think it's a no-brainer. They want to try, right?
Well, I mean, I
only,
think
pay 3 million.
Yeah, I mean, for the benefit of the audience who don't know the price of motorbikes in Indonesia, so something like a Scoopy is about 22 million, I believe, 23 million, which is a Honda Scoopy or a Honda Beat. That would be around 18 million or 19 million, roughly.
Yeah.
So you're a lot cheaper than that, but you're cheaper than most other two-wheel EV companies, aren't you?
Yeah, but currently it's almost par. But you may say that some competitors they offer like one of the, I think, leader our predecessors, they selling 23 to 25 million. That's why before that the adoption is very, very slow because the price is too much. Right. It's too painful for them to pay the price of changing into EV, right? For what? Right? For all the headaches, you must give them something, right? But then again, after the fuel price hike, then people think twice, right?
Yeah,
especially during the queuing. Queuing is very crazy in the gas stations.
Yeah, no, well,
very
that's right.
crazy.
I've seen it firsthand, and I believe that the cost of running an EV is about 1/8 of that of a combustion engine motorcycle. So it's much cheaper, isn't it? But now we're very short on time. So just go back to the first question, which is a longer term one, and saying among the different business segments, which segment do you think will be the biggest driver of growth, revenue and profits over the next 3 years, and why?
So number one, of course, on the EV side, of course, if you see the catalyst, 150 million, the government allocate 1 million motorcycle for fiscal subsidy. There's give us a huge room for us. In 2022, we have like 29% market share. So let's say, just assuming we just take like 15 to 20%, that's already a huge number for us to be filled. We just want to make sure that we have the capacity there. We have enough capital to support that. That's number one, right? And for digital advertising, of course, like I already mentioned to you, right? Currently, we're only covering around 14,000 advertising spot, where the potential market, even from only our captive market, we only cover only less than 50% of it. So the room for growth in that is still growth. And last one, from the turnaround will be coming from the profitability side, because these two businesses, especially for the EV side, the economic of scale will increase. That alone will improve also the profitability. Bear in mind, let's say in 2022, there is some pressure in the EBITDA margin because of from the EV business, because of course operational wise is still loss making because we just started the business. But then again, if the economic of scale improving, hopefully we can target around 27,000 units conservatively this year, right? So that will send us, to book profit, and that, will give, a very big boost to our profitability this year, right?
So you expect that the EV business will break even this year, make a profit, with that production capacity in mind.
Yes.
Yes. No, that's absolutely fascinating, Stanley. I'm afraid we're now up to an hour, so I'm going to close at that and say thank you very much. Fascinating discussion, and I look forward to the company longer term. I'll hand back to Sanam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angus, for some very interesting questions. And a big thanks to Stanley for a detailed insight into NFC Indonesia, the challenges in its sector, and opportunity for NFC Indonesia. I would also like to thank our attendees who joined the session live. With that, I would like to wrap up this week's corporate webinar. Thanks again and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.